Hello, Cowboys fans. If you're like me and tired of seeing the Dallas Cowboys stumble in crucial moments, get ready because today's topic is going to shake up our fan base. The potential arrival of Bill Belichick as our new head coach is gaining momentum, and many believe he could be the solution to the chaos we've been living through with Mike McCarthy. Could Belichick, with his 6 Super Bowl wins, finally bring us back to the top? But before we dive into this heated discussion, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, your home for all things Cowboys, and drop a like. It helps us keep bringing exclusive, high-quality content to all of you. Go Cowboys! Now, I ask, how much longer do we have to deal with Jerry Jones' disastrous decisions and a coaching staff that doesn't live up to the greatness of our franchise? We are Cowboys Nation, the biggest and most passionate fan base, and we deserve more than these constant embarrassments. Could Belichick's arrival be the wake-up call we desperately need? Let's debate this together. Guys, the loss to the Lions was catastrophic. The Cowboys lost by 38 points, tying for the 5th worst defeat in franchise history. To make matters worse, it was the worst home loss since Jerry Jones took over the team. Do you know what happened the last time the Cowboys lost by this margin? Jerry Jones fired the head coach. Now, back then, the team had a 1-7 record, and Jason Garrett was waiting in the wings as the replacement. But now, with a 3-3 record, will Jerry keep his cool? Do you think this loss will cost someone their job in the Cowboys organization? Should Jerry Jones make changes to the coaching staff? Comment below. Would Bill Belichick be interested in the Cowboys? Now, let's dive into a question many of you are probably wondering about. With all this chaos surrounding the Cowboys, would Bill Belichick, considered one of the best coaches in NFL history, be interested in taking over this team? Honestly, Belichick is in a tough spot in New England, but would he even want to get involved with the problems in Dallas? The answer could be no. Belichick has always preferred well-structured and disciplined teams, something the Cowboys are clearly far from being at the moment. Plus, the mess involving huge contracts for players underperforming, like Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and Trayvon Diggs, might be something he'd rather steer clear of. Poll for the audience: if Bill Belichick were available, would you want to see him coach the Cowboys? Yes or no? The questionable contracts of Dak, CeeDee, and Diggs. Now, one of the biggest discussions around the Cowboys centers on the contracts of some of our stars. Let's start with Dak Prescott. He signed a $240 million contract and, according to Pro Football Focus, he ranks only 19th among quarterbacks in the league, behind players like Andy Dalton. What's happening with Dak? Does he really deserve this investment? CeeDee Lamb, who signed a $136 million contract, is also facing criticism. He's ranked just 56th among wide receivers, according to PFF. And it seems like he and Dak just can't find chemistry on the field. They've played together for 4 years now, yet the connection still feels off. Something needs to change with this duo. Finally, there's Trayvon Diggs, who signed a $97 million contract. He was supposed to be a turnover machine, but what we saw in the last game against the Lions was shocking. Diggs looked like a revolving door, letting players pass by with no resistance. He has only 1 interception in 6 games, far below what we expected from a player with this kind of contract. Question for the audience: which of these contracts do you think has been the most problematic so far? Dak, CeeDee, or Diggs? Let us know in the comments. Jerry Jones and the frustrations at AT&T Stadium. Now, let's talk a bit about AT&T Stadium, the famous Jerry World. There's no denying that the stadium is spectacular, but what's the point of having one of the biggest stadiums in the world if the team isn't delivering results? And the criticism isn't just about the team's performance, there are also issues like the sun interfering with players on the field. Seriously, guys. Couldn't Jerry solve this simple issue by putting up some curtains? Fans' frustrations are justified. Expectations for this season were high, but with this kind of result at home, it's hard to keep believing this team can go far. Do you think the Dallas Cowboys still have a chance to win the NFC East this year? Yes or no? We can't ignore a comment that caught a lot of attention. Tom Brady, who rarely comments on other teams, spoke out about the Cowboys' situation after the loss to the Lions. He said, "They need to play with more mental and physical toughness." When the greatest player in NFL history makes a comment like that, you know things aren't looking good. This is a clear sign that the team's mentality needs to change. It's not just about physical skills, but the mental focus that's clearly missing. Before we finish, let's talk about what moves the Cowboys could make before the trade deadline or even in the offseason. After such a devastating loss, it's clear that the Cowboys need to shake things up, and one way to do that is by exploring trade options or picking up some free agents. There are a few areas where the team is really lacking, particularly in the trenches and the secondary. On the offensive line, we've seen some struggles with both injuries and inconsistent play. If the Cowboys are serious about making a push for the playoffs, they might need to consider bringing in reinforcements. One name that has been floated in trade rumors is Colts guard Quentin Nelson. Adding a dominant presence like Nelson could help solidify the line and give Dak Prescott the protection he needs to perform better. As for the defense, with Trayvon Diggs' performance dipping and the pass rush not living up to its early season hype, there are a couple of cornerbacks and edge rushers who could be on the trade block. Could someone like Chase Young or Patrick Surtain be a solution for the Cowboys' defensive woes? It's certainly something that could add a spark to this struggling unit. If you could make one trade to improve the Cowboys right now, who would you target? A lineman, a cornerback, or a pass rusher? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Jerry Jones' legacy on the line. One last thing to consider is Jerry Jones' legacy. He's owned the Cowboys since 1989, and in that time, he's built them into one of the most valuable sports franchises in the world. But when was the last time this team truly lived up to its potential on the field? The Cowboys haven't been to the Super Bowl since the 1995 season. That's nearly 30 years of frustration for a fan base that expects more. For Jerry Jones, every year that goes by without a championship is another hit to his legacy. Yes, he's an owner who's willing to spend money and take risks, but at what point does he need to look in the mirror and realize that his hands-on approach might be holding the team back? The decision to keep Mike McCarthy as head coach has been questioned time and time again, especially after embarrassing losses like this one. Jerry's loyalty and reluctance to make big changes in leadership could be part of the reason the Cowboys are stuck in this cycle of mediocrity. Should Jerry Jones take a step back and let someone else make the football decisions? Let us know what you think. As the Cowboys head into their bye week with a 3-3 record, the big question is, can they turn things around and still compete for a playoff spot? Historically, the NFC East has been unpredictable, and the Cowboys still have time to make a push. But it's going to take a lot more than just showing up. They need to find consistency in all phases of the game: offense, defense, and special teams. The upcoming schedule doesn't get any easier, with tough matchups against teams like the Philadelphia Eagles and Seattle Seahawks on the horizon. These games will be the true test of whether this Cowboys team has what it takes to bounce back or if they'll continue to spiral out of control. Do you believe the Cowboys will make the playoffs this season, or is it time to start thinking about next year? Share your thoughts in the comments. Alright, Cowboys Nation, that wraps it up for today's video. The road ahead looks rough, but if we've learned anything from watching this team over the years, it's that anything can happen in the NFL. Let's hope the Cowboys use this bye week to regroup, get healthy, and come back stronger. Don't forget to like this video, hit that subscribe button, and ring the notification bell so you'll be the first to know about any breaking news or updates on our Cowboys. Stay strong, and as always, let's keep the faith. Catch you in the next one, Cowboys Nation.